Welcome back, everybody, to Dan Has Fun with more Europa Universalis 4. Bologna, Baloney. Although, we may have to tweak the name of the title. I don't know what we're going to do. Because this episode, I'm going to let it run in the background just for a moment, we're going to be coring Milan and having the option to form Italy. And I did think about it over the break I had there. No matter what the negative consequences could be, we're going to form Italy because it'll be fun. We do have election time as well. We could keep our dude. He would become a 2-2-5. What are his traits? Not great. Or we could get a 3-2-5 with 10 Republican traditions. That's what we're going to do. So Claudio Mariscotti. 3-2-5. Not bad. Not bad at all. He's also a lawgiver. That's awesome. That's a really good trait. Makes your monthly autonomy tick down more effectively. You may have noticed, in case you're watching and not just listening, I did grab from the EU4 wiki the Italian ideas group, which you'll be able to see in the right, on the right-hand side of the screen there. When we form Italy, we get the choice of keeping our traditions and just changing name, so it's just an aesthetic difference pretty much, as we get loads of discovery of location, or we can form Italy and take all of the traditions. And on the right there are all the things that Italy gets. So it's traditions, more trade power, and more improved relations. I do like the big improved relations, that's nice. 10% stability cost modifier reduction, who cares? 15% infantry combat ability, pretty good. Cheaper galleys and better combat ability for galleys is near. 33% more manpower, really good. 15% more tax modifiers, okay. +1 yearly prestige, who cares? 25% cheaper core creation cost is very helpful. I'd rather it be aggressive expansion, but that's the next best thing. And then they get 20% more fort defense, which doesn't matter really at all. Compare that to what we have right now. 10% more morale, which is great. 20% cheaper re-election cost. It's pretty good. When we form Italy, I'm pretty sure we become a kingdom with a monarchy. I may be wrong on that. We're going to find out soon enough anyway. This is pretty good for this specific type of government, but we'll see. More church power and tolerance of the true faith is meh. 10% more goods produced is okay, but not amazing. Yearly prestige +1, well, Italy gets that as well, but it's still not very good in my opinion. Cheaper forts is an equivalent to more fort defense. I don't really care either way. It's this that makes this decision tricky. 5% cheaper tech. Italy does not get a discount towards its tech at all, but Bologna does. We're still gonna switch, but it's interesting because it's not as if just switching to this bigger nation with a new tag is objectively better. There are pros and cons. So it is something to ponder. I'm going to take away that idea group now. There we go. See you later. Thank you for helping us. Like that. Do we see anything over here in Britain? What are they getting up to? Well, they haven't wiped Scotland fully out yet, so they're being a bit lethargic. You know what I should have done now? And I remember this was something I was going to mention, but I completely forgot. The whole point of me not doing this mission was so that I could have used it against Milan to get less aggressive expansion. And this guy forgot. I had literally mentioned in that episode that I hate saving completed missions because they cause anxiety, and I completely forgot to use it. So don't worry. Somebody may have already said it in the comments. This may be the same recording batch of the last couple of episodes, but I do remember now that I forgot. So, oopsie daisies. Aye. Honestly, the odds of it happening again are so high, I'm just gonna hit the button now. And then we might get some use out of it at some point. And speaking of some point, what do we want to do next? So, because we didn't hit the button, we have more aggressive expansion really than we should. But I don't think it truly changed a huge amount. We may have taken one extra province from Milan. But other than that, I don't honestly believe it truly changed anything. We still have the option of dying horribly by attacking Spain, even with British support. So we're not going to do that. We do just want to keep an eye out on Austria, though. They're our allies right now, but like I said, when we form Italy, that might not stay the same. So we do want to tread with caution. At this point, I am going to get Piedmont to turn into a state. Because, yeah, the other bit... Oh, we have to get another seat for debating. Let's search by development. Not on the map. Let's do it the other way. Let's search by development this way. So, Bologna, we know, has a seat. Venice definitely does. Ferrara does. Pretty sure Padova does. So we're going to give Rome a seat is the next place we're going to give one. Makes a lot of sense on a few different levels. So let's give them a seat in Parliament and get more money and more manpower. Well, there's probably a couple more sailors. There we go. Yeah, the other issue we're going to have with forming Italy, because we won't be in the Holy Roman Empire, if we attack other nations that are in the Holy Roman Empire, oh boy, is Austria going to be incredibly unhappy about it. Our one saving grace, though, Milan is not in the Holy Roman Empire. Montferrat is, and I'm pretty sure Savoy is as well. Yes, they are. But Milan isn't, so I can go after Milan, I can go after the papacy, although they're being guaranteed by Spain, so that's dangerous. We just need to find a way, and it could be through the Papal States, of going after the Papal States without bringing in everything that Spain is allied to. Obviously, we can't do it right now. This would potentially be a way to make that happen. Well, you see. The time has come, though. Let's form the Italian nation. Alright, so new traditions and ambitions. Our state is going through a range of changes that is rapidly changing our identity and ideals. Unless we actively work against it, we will see the ambitions and traditions of our country change as a result. Yes, please. Okay, so we have gone from vibrant orange to... well, it's kind of halfway between sweet pea and snot green. It's not... it's not the nicest colour. I'll be the first to say, I do not like the Italian flag in this game. Doesn't do it for me at all. But we now have a new Italian mission tree. Many of which we're going to be able to do straight away. So prosperity for all. At least 8 owned provinces must have prosperity, which they do. Cheaper development cost and cheaper stability cost modifiers. We might as well hit that. Alpine Defenders, or defenses I should say. You get this if you have at least 5 provinces in a certain area that have a castle on it, which is why I haven't been super aggro towards taking forts away. So we're going to take that straight away. You get a permanent claim on a lot of territory. So that is going to be very helpful. And we also have a worthy navy. So we have at least 90% of our force limit used up. So we get claims on more land. I'm going to show you the land in a moment. They're the 3 that we can do at the moment. In terms of just thinking ahead, we don't own all of Italy. So that is why we can't do the Risorgimento. Probably butchered that something fierce. Still can't do that one either. Take the Littoral is just having a lot of provinces we do not have access to right now. And then we got events about going down into Africa and befriending Ethiopia. There's a lot of options we have. We may not necessarily follow this to a T, but at least it means we have options. And in terms of options off the bat, you will notice we have a lot of the map with yellow stripes. We have a permanent claim over all of this. It's pretty wild, including territory owned by the Ottomans. So we are going to have a claim against them, and it's a very interesting thought. I was thinking about this between episodes. The Ottomans are not the enormous killing war machine at this point that they can get into. So if you leave the Ottomans alone, in most games they will destroy the Mamluks, which they still haven't completed yet. They will usually start carving all of this into their own land. Depending how the game goes, if you get a weak Lithuania, they will start eating up here as well, and then they start eating Russia, and they become impossible to defeat. This has not happened yet, and it may not happen at all. But the Ottomans they're not exactly ripe for the taking. That would be a massive over-exaggeration. But they're not an all-conquering, dominating, terrifying force. No, now Austria hates us because we left the Holy Roman Empire. This alliance will break. It's inevitable. That's why this is going to be... We're going to be in for the danger times here. Because we're going to be surrounded by nations that hate us. But what it does mean is Austria is going to be very, very dissuaded from attacking us, because then they'll break their alliance with Poland. So at least we have that going for us. They have a lot of alliances. So they're not probably going to be very upset at the fact that we're not going to be allied to them anymore. It also opens up France in many weird ways. We don't have a claim over French territory. Well, French territory that we can get to right now, I should say. But we do have the option of going after France. So we may end up doing that. Remember, France isn't in the Holy Roman Empire, and they're not allied to any big power. They could be, but they're not. So that is definitely something to think about. Also, why are you getting attritioned? This is a 36 supply limit territory. I don't know, maybe the game will work that out in a second. So we do have some interesting advancement options. The other one that you would have seen is down here. We now have claims on Tunis. Their only ally is the Ottomans, but they're not very tasty as a prospect because most of the territory down here sucks. There's a lot of very low quality land down there. So that is... tempting as it could be, is not really what I want to go for, at least not yet. Anyway, we need to do a tick. We get an extra diplomat because we went up to kingdom level. Are we going to be... No, we are still a republic. Hooray, I was wrong. That's even better. So we're an Italian republic. I was worried we'd have to become a monarchy. That is so good. I don't want to rival Austria. That's terrible. But yes, for example, if I attack Savoy now, I'm not going to. At least not straight away. Austria will defend them because I'm not in the Holy Roman Empire, but they are. So we do have to be a bit careful. I'm expecting this alliance with Austria to disappear immediately. When they hate you, you can't ask for things. I didn't want to cheese that. It doesn't feel in the spirit of the game to be doing something like that. Maybe that's just me. We also have claims. Yeah, we have claims on Hungary, don't we? There's a lot of things we have claims on. We have a lot of options. Ultimately, the one that we're going to be going for first is Provence. We just aren't doing it right now because Spain's in the coalition. As pretty much the second that Spain is not in the coalition, we're going to be attacking Provence. To the point where I'm not even going to have you drill. Because I want to get in there and smack them immediately. Yep, there's the alliance break. Which is sad, but an inevitable part of this game. We couldn't keep this alliance going forever. It just didn't even feel appropriate. But having said that, it's not as if Austria should automatically hate us. They'll have the big penalty initially for us leaving the Holy Roman Empire. But they shouldn't hate us too much. Really, the only thing they're going to hate us about is the religious thing. And because of how this is broken down, you can now see there are a lot of nations involved here, but nobody's declared on anybody. This is still really tricky to deal with because Poland's on the Catholic side. If Poland had been on the Protestant side, I would have joined the Protestant side and made this holy war happen. But it didn't. Sweden's also on the Catholic side, which is mildly annoying, but not a big deal. Yeah, I would love to join the Protestant side, but quite literally none of my allies are on that side. So we're just not getting involved. Not ideal, but what are you going to do? How's our naval situation? We are not quite at our force limit, but we're pretty close. How is our army situation? Not quite, same boat. We're just 9,000 away, so we're not going to do that. We now have a maximum manpower of 88,848, which is still nothing compared to Spain, but isn't bad at all. We should, given we have 2 idle diplomats doing absolutely diddly squat, we should have them doing something. We're going to have outraged countries have a diplomat, hopefully just to calm them down a little bit. There's no point trying to appease Spain, though. They are going to hate us forever. And finally, Rome has been converted. So we get 10.2 prestige from that, not that it matters. And Spain no longer considers France their rival. That's a little bit unfortunate. If only because that means there's now the distinct possibility that Spain might end up allying them. They rival Russia. Okay. That's fine. Army's the way to glory. 5 prestige I don't need. Kind of the running theme for the last couple of episodes. Every event seems to be giving something we do not need. We can invest in a new tech. Military tech, do we want to do ahead of time to get tech level 14? It's an okay level, but it's not an absolute game changer. As we already have 63 innovativeness, so it's not as if I'm racing to get tons more. And once Milano has... Oh, actually, this province's religions are already being converted. Are they converting it for me? Oh, how very nice of them. That saved us some money. Once Perugia is converted, we can get rid of this adult baptism and flip back to our morale booster, so that we are even better in combat. This is the thing, though. So, a lot of the big formable nations do get some really great ideas and other benefits on top of that, even. We do not exactly get fantastic land troops. We get 15% better infantry, which is not bad, don't get me wrong. But other than that, we don't get any bonuses at all. And one of the really obviously missing pieces that almost every nation gets that we do not get is a bonus to discipline. And it's an Italian thing, so a lot of the Italian culture group nations do not get discipline. But it's discipline ultimately that causes more casualties on the other side. So not having it isn't ideal. I'm just going to unfocus that for now. 10-8-10, that's pretty good. I could have sworn becoming Italy, though, did give you all of these by default. I guess it doesn't. I've been wrong a few times. I guess we'll use, because we do have quite a lot of Diplo power, let's get Venetian, Umbrian, and Tuscan all promoted. That will mean that these 15% penalties just disappear at this point for anything in those groups. So we're suddenly going to start making probably a lot more money and a lot more manpower. Yeah, we're now up to 95,000 as our maximum, so that went up nearly, what, 7,000 just by promoting those culture groups. It also means if we have an advisor in those culture groups, we can promote them. Whereas before, we were stuck with what skill ceiling they already had. Get out of the coalition, please, Spain. They are ruining everything right now. They are absolutely ruining everything. Here's another funny thing we could do. We're not going to do it right now. For many, many reasons. But now that we're not allied to Austria, we could just attack them. We're not going to do it because Poland is on their side. But now that we are not in the Holy Roman Empire, but they're the emperor, obviously if you attack them, it's going to be as if you're dealing with a regular nation. Foreign inventor. Do we want to take Albrecht von Schomberg in? If we don't, we get prestige and Austria likes us. If we do, we gain innovativeness, and every single nation around us pretty much hates us, so we're not going to. I don't really want to antagonize Austria to attack us, because it's going to cause a massive chain reaction. If Austria attacks us, Spain will attack us. Poland will attack Austria. Bohemia will attack Austria. Everybody in this entire line will get dragged in. And we're not ready to do that yet. Like I said, the piece that we're waiting on is for Spain to get out of the coalition. Once that's done, we're ready to roll. We do have a great project we can apparently upgrade. The Duomo di Milano, which right now is non-existent. So if we get this upgraded, what do we get? We get more tax in the area, we get resistance to Reformation, which we don't want. And we get some church power and pastors equilibrium. That's not very good. I'm not that interested. Gonna keep the pop-up, but that's not hugely interesting. Shane. You want money? 195 ducats? Sure. Luneburg's going to attack Brandenburg. We need to debate something. Admiral with 40 tradition. No, thank you. Cheaper advisors? Nope. Cheaper land maintenance? I guess we'll go for it. Nothing in here is very interesting again. We actually passed that one by default. We didn't even have to bribe anybody. I guess our nation really thought that was a great idea. I thought it was an indifferent one, but they loved it. Maybe, I'm just thinking too, maybe we'll still call this Bologna Baloney. And just leave it like that. And then people can watch and not be surprised, you know, not be spoiled too far ahead of time or anything like that. It'd be weird giving a series 2 different names, just depending on the nation that you were. I'm not enjoying that thought, so we won't do that. Come on, we're just waiting on Spain. We're just waiting on Spain. In the same way that I'm kind of just waiting for a haircut. I don't enjoy having... I don't grow my hair long when my hair needs, you know, grows over time. It doesn't grow long, it just grows fat. But not quite in an afro way either. It just kind of looks like a bird's nest is stuck on my head. It doesn't do it for me. Treviso... Treviso, tell you what. Because you did get that event, let's humour them for a bit. So Treviso is here. It's a 30 development province, which is already pretty high. It has the encouraged development on already. Let's give it some development. There you go. Might as well take advantage of that event. Get 5 development for significantly cheaper. Okay, Provence has left the coalition. That's an interesting change. So Provence leaving the coalition but Spain not means if I attack Provence now, Spain does not automatically jump in. However, I'm going to have a hard time, I think. That's a pretty close stack of numbers, so I would have about 112,000 troops with 168,000 manpower. Effectively, because yeah, it adds the reserves on. They would have slightly more than that, and France does have way better units in combat than Italy has. Will anybody... Can I persuade anybody to join in? Great Britain would, but they're at war already, which is frustrating. Poland like Provence. They don't want to jump in. But why do they all like Provence so much? That's really, really aggravating. I could actually attack France directly, but the problem with this is I can't core any of their land without Provence. And I can't attack Toulouse because they're allied to Spain. And if I attack the papacy, it drags... Does it not drag Spain anymore? The papacy is not being protected by Spain. I can't attack them yet, we still have a truce. How long has that been the case? Because we're only a year and a half away from being able to attack the Papal States then. So what we'll do instead is we'll watch and see what happens. Because there's no way on this earth we're going to be able to break, yeah, the relationship with Provence and anybody else. France will not do this because they hate us. Absolutely no way on this earth. Would Toulouse break their alliance with Provence? Nope. Okay, so that might be the next best plan. If I can't get any of my allies in on Provence, going for the Papal State may be a better decision. Even they won't break their alliance with anybody. Again, because they hate us. Okay, well that gives me something to work with anyway. We have a truce with Milan, we can't do that. Do we want to sacrifice a load of money for points? You better believe we do. Yeah, we're game for that. We may even go for military tech 14 if we're going to do it. Go after Provence anyway. We wouldn't need it for the Papal States. Oh, could I beat France in a war? They have 65,000 troops with 60,000 manpower. The answer is I probably could with some mercenaries, but I can't afford to do it in case Spain jumps on me. Which is why we're in this very frustrating stalemate right now. There's nothing we can do about it. Because I wanted to form Italy because, well, it's more fun. But it did lead to us getting a little bit stuck. So yeah, I honestly think it's going to be the papacy. The papacy. I like how I keep saying papacy, like I'm saying Papal States and papacy at the same time. That's not the word. It is not papacy. Do we want to become Defender of the Faith again? It would give us more morale. No, I don't think so. I also think, even though I'd rather wait for Perugia, we're just going to say, no, I want more morale. Improve our war stats as much as we possibly can. That's fine. Yeah. Oh, hang on. I thought Britain was no longer at war. Oh, they only... Hang on. I need to watch this then. So what we're going to do... If I can get Britain in, they will distract France enough to then not have to worry quite so much. And if I'm in a war with Britain, unless Britain gets curb stomped, which I just don't see happening because they just have so many more ships than France, they would join if Spain attacked me for the coalition. Yeah, I think that works. Oh, we're having a city demand a seat in Parliament. Okay. I'm alright with that. I'd rather give them the seat than sacrifice development. Because realistically, we were probably just going to add them next anyway. Our military advisor died. We are making a lot of money a turn, but I really don't... Well, I guess it's not a big deal. We'll get the +3 discipline guy. It's going to be expensive, but we're still making money hand over fist. It's a nice thing about starting with a nation in the Italian region. If you want to play a game with some contrast, but you still want to play an interesting game, try playing as Norway. Because it always feels like when you play as Norway that you never have any money. Because you're either taking out loans to fight off Russia, or Muscovy at the time, or Denmark, or you're trying to colonize, and that's expensive, especially for a nation that starts in such a rubbish area. And your expansion options are limited in Europe because of the Holy Roman Empire. It is very interesting. Difficult, but interesting. Okay, they pieced out with Abenaki. That wasn't the war leader, though, was it? Nope. How on earth do you pronounce that war leader? Atigni Nonganahak? Oh boy. Oh yikes. Yeah, I'm sure I pronounced that something unbelievably nastily. Like, every province and every country needs to be called Dave. Otherwise, I've got no chance. Everything's called Dave from now on. It's like how, you know, in American Dad, everything can be called Steve. I know that was a period joke, but you get what I mean. You know what I'm talking about. Come on, Britain, hurry up. You had one job. To not be at war right now. You're slowing down everything for everybody. Can I see who they're attacking? Because that's not grayed out. Okay, they are sieging them out right now. They have a 35% tick. Come on. Oh, they're doing the carpet siege. This has taken so long that the Papal States timer has truced out. I'm just gonna take these guys out instead, because if we don't, given they're not guaranteeing them anymore, Spain's just gonna eat them. So I'm gonna take them first, and then we'll have to take a look and see what the situation is at the time. When it comes to dealing with Provence, France, who knows? I'm going to declare war so I don't forget. There we go. And now I'm going to put in a cut. So we'll deal with this next episode, next time. Please stick around if you want to see more. It should be pretty fun. I think this war against the Papal States should be pretty smooth, but then all hell could break loose. So we shall see. I appreciate your time. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for watching the video, and if you'd like to see more, feel free to stick around.